All right, boys and gals, I'm back. I gotta put this thing back on the stand, take the cylinder off, and figure something out. Now, when I was thinking about the intake ported method for the Pioneer, the thought occurred to me that I would have to make a crank stuffer. Now, this other guy on YouTube called Life Behind the Axe kind of confirmed that thought for me because he commented on it, which is exactly why I'm doing piece-by-piece videos on this, so you guys can help me out. Now, Aaron Lynch and this Life Behind the Axe guy, whew, they are giving me a hand with some ideas. So, I am going to make a piece of stainless. Yes, I know stainless. It's everything I have is stainless just because it is really, really easy for me to get. Now, the guy that suggested this said I should use a piece of aluminum, but it's hard for me to come across a piece that thick and for me to form it to the exact shape I want it to. So I'm just going to use a piece of stainless 20 gauge and just create the piece I need, weld it to a plate, and then bolt it here. So I want to fill this void, which is, yeah, just got to have it go down there. So I guess I'm going to start by taking measurements to see what exactly I need to make, and yeah, go from there. Now, another thing I want to show you, I have created this at work. An expansion chamber goes from 1.5. This piece is 1.5 to 3, and we got 3 to 4, and then 4 to 1. I did use the calculator to figure this out. Now I'm not sure if I did it right because this just seems rather large, but I mean I'm still gonna try it obviously, because you know, why not? If I have to, I can make it smaller. Might be a little difficult, but I could cut it like here and then do the same for here so it's the same size, and then just shrink it down a little bit. But I'm gonna run with it as is and then go from there. But it was a really slow day at work, so I asked Laser if they could burn me some reducers, and I had a friend in the weld shop weld it up for me. Now, he did this whole thing in like 8 minutes because it was the last 10 minutes of the day, so it was definitely a rush job for him. But I mean, for a rush job, this is pretty decent just for a chainsaw exhaust, so I'm very proud of that. Like I said, if I have to shrink it down, I can. That's easy enough. It's easier to shrink it down than it is to make it bigger. Well, actually, I guess it's kind of the same, but you get the gist. Although, if I put it next to the 372, it does not look out of proportion. So I think I did it right. But like I said, I'll see, I'll find out. I might honestly put it on this saw just because I want to hear what it sounds like and to see if it's somewhat built for a 71cc engine. Alright, got my bench cleaned off a little bit. Got my sheet metal out. I guess I'm going to start fabricating a little stuffer to go in there. Yeah, there will be one built just about. Alright, we got our little piece made up. I wanted to prevent as much welding as possible and as much fitment issues, so I decided to make the piece, and now I'm going to bend it to exactly what I need, and hopefully this will fit. So I just need to weld the plate onto it that bolts to the reed cage. We will see. Okay, with some hammering here and some hammering there, I have made my crank stuffer. It is not the prettiest thing on the inside. I just tacked it lightly on each side, and then I grinded it down for clearance. I mean, it's being pushed in, so I'm not worried about it coming loose. I didn't really have to weld it, but I was, I had the, fucking Jesus. I had this part just sitting in here, and I put some super glue on it, and I put the plate on where I needed it. And as I was waiting for the glue to dry, I was like, oh wait, I don't even need this, because this is just pushing that down. But as soon as I popped the plate off, the super glue already cured, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just weld it up exactly where I need it. So that is done. Now, oh, I can't even show you. Basically, this piece here doesn't fit perfectly flush in there, so I was just gonna use some of this steel stick, which, you know, JB Weld fixes anything. I was gonna smear that on the sides and the bottom here where it doesn't fit perfectly in there, so that way when I squeeze it down, it'll create a seal, and that'll be that. Right now I'm just gonna rough up the areas where the JB Weld is gonna stick to, just so it will stick. Now, the reason I'm still using JB Weld is because, number one, I'm just using it on the sides, so I can easily, like, if I wanted to get rid of the crank stuffer and run a carb through the reed cage, I could just grind away the excess JB Weld. It's a whatever. But yeah, I'm going to put some paper towels in there, so to stop most of it from going into the actual bottom end. And I'll just rough up this area, lather some of that putty on, and just stick her in. Alright, so I roughed up that area where I gotta seal it. I got some gaskets ready. Let's put some JB Weld in there. Now, I may not be the best TIG welder yet, but JB Weld, I'm a professional. Look at this cute little concoction. And boom, just like that, we got ourselves a crank spacer. At the last minute, well, not the last minute, the bolts bottomed out, so I had to quickly find some kind of spacer so the JB Weld would dry exactly where I want it. Once it's cured and gaskets are cured, I can take these out and this won't move, and then I can put some proper washers on it. But it doesn't look that bad the way it is, so it's probably gonna stay that way. That's a good feeling to get that done. I knew that would be a annoying project. I can't even really see where it is, but it did block it off right to here, so this should dramatically help instead of all of this open area right here for the gas to get sucked back in. But that's another wrap on the P74 HOTSAW. I got the crank volume cancellation booster in it. Good to go.